Okay, I would like to work on some more word problems today. Partly because, as I said, the kids last year that they were weakest, and so the more practice we can do with them. Like from yesterday, once you got them set up, they weren't horrible, but it's getting the setup that's the hardest part. So we want to keep doing some more of these. That way, it's not like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I want to start with number 2 on 245. It says the atomic number of nickel, which is 20, is 3.5 times the atomic number of oxygen. So we know nickel is 28. We also know that nickel is, which means equal 3.5 times oxygen. I'm gonna make that an oxygen like that. Okay. So it's 3.5 times oxygen. So in place of, we know that both of these are equal to N. So what do we know about this and this thing? If they're both equal to nickel, they're going to be equal to each other. So in place of nickel, we could put 28. So 28 is equal to 3.5 times, I'm just going to change that to X for oxygen. Now we have a very basic equation. How could we solve that equation? So we divide by 3.5, 3.5. And that tells us that X is 8. So oxygen, the atomic weight is 8. So I would, before you even try to set up equations, write down the bits and pieces you do know, and then we can combine it. Like we said, since this was N, and N was 28, we just substituted right there. Okay. So boom, right there. Okay, let's look at number 24, or not 24, number 4, sorry. We read it together. The difference between the highest and lowest recorded temperatures in Yukon is 74.6 degrees. The lowest is negative 44.4 degrees Celsius. Find the highest temperature. What is, so the key word here, what is the second word of this sentence? No problem. Difference. Difference means subtract. So the difference between the highest and the lowest is, I should have made more room. Let's move that over. So the highest minus the lowest, and the difference is, which means equals 74.6. What other information did they give us? So they gave us the lowest, so we can substitute negative 44.4. So we have the highest, we're going to say that's H minus the lowest. Here's our lowest, negative 44.4. We have a negative and a negative. What happens to those two? They both become positive. So now basically what we have is H plus 44.4 equals 74.6. To get rid of plus, minus. So we get 30.2 is our time. Yes, that's correct. I was trying to decide why that didn't seem correct, but this one was negative to start with. Is 30.2 higher than negative 44? Yes. So it's not a real high temperature, although if it's Celsius, that actually is, but that would be well over 100, or be right about 100. Because what's the boiling point, or what's freezing? 32 and 0. So this, the good rule of thumb is double, which means times 2, which would be 60, and then add 30. So it'd be 90 to 100, somewhere in there. That's the exact. I'm giving you the estimate. The exact is multiplied by 9/5 and then add 32. The basic one is double, add 30. To get you close, not perfect. All right, so what I want to do, page 245. Again, I just want you feeling comfortable enough setting them up. Some of these, it's also possible, I'm gonna give you at least one of these. It's possible the answer is no solution because they didn't give you enough information. So if they did not give you enough information to solve it, say that. That there will be two of those. So two problems will be no solution. I'm not going to tell you which two. I'll tell you that there are two that have no answer because there's not enough information. Sometimes they do that to see if you can figure it out. All right.